Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the Future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
She's out of my league. Hair, gear, and the body so pretty. This girl really looks so nice.
Future Bachelor.
Cute face, slim waist, where she walks.
We hype today.
Really made me look twice. She's out of my league. I'm lost. Shiny lip gloss got me thinking how you get so fly.
She's out of my league.
It's weak. I'm feeling so weak,
And I really need to figure out why.
she's out of my league.
Hit the club. I'll never ever expect to love, cause I'm happy. No.
Oh.
I just wanted to go a little bit in here because I want to show you my favorite part. Veronica, do it with me here. Let's go.
I don't know.
That was like 13
I blasted
minutes.
off with all the
Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai,
And I'm Veronica.
and we talk about everything pop culture, dating, and Bachelor.
This episode, we're covering Not So Secret Weddings, the end of an Ellen era, and our crush being now with John Mulaney.
Oh my goodness, and this is episode 163. Really gonna need to know about this crush stuff, but maybe she's out of my league. I don't know. Like that little theme song we made in the
It
beginning.
all comes back. Good job.
Yeah. Anyways, V, how are you doing? What's going on? I'm very excited about the show today. I think I'm already sweating.
Ooh, Papa Molly, I'm sweating.
Well, it's
Ooh.
just kind of like, this has been my look, like the flannel, the hoodie, and now it's just way too hot
I
for
dress
it.
for the weather.
Yeah.
You do not.
I dress
which
for
I don't
the
get.
looks.
I can't do it. Like, I can be fashionable, but also cool because I'm always warm. I'm like probably one of the only women I know that doesn't get cold easily. Like I run hot. So
I think it's different for guys. Like, I don't know if there's there's not much we can do besides wear a t-shirt and shorts. When it's like, we're talking about cool weather and cool clothes for weather and stuff, like, just not much fashionable with it. Like, I'm not a big shorts guy, not a huge t-shirt guy. So it's like really hard for me in summertime. So I just end up having a lot of layers and sweating,
Which is weird because you lived for a large chunk of your life in Florida.
Yeah, but like, when I was in Florida, I didn't go outside too much. It was like a lot of indoor stuff, just kind of stayed inside where the AC was blasting.
Be me.
So, but yeah, V, what's been going on in your life? How are you? What's new? What's poppin'?
I'm decent. I had a couple of birthday celebrations this past weekend. I had an early birthday for my friend Mackenzie, and we did a pedal pub around Midtown area, which felt harder than when we've done it around Savannah. I don't know why. I don't know if it's slightly more hilly than in Savannah or what, but
I feel like maybe,
harder.
what it is like the people in Savannah have been doing it longer. Like, they know what they're doing. This is a brand new thing here in Atlanta, the pedal pub. And maybe the guy that was, captaining your ship he didn't have his sea legs,
Maybe, but it was better than when we've done it in Savannah because you could bring alcohol onto, like, you could bring your own alcohol onto the pedal pub. So, like, they had a cooler and they put, like, our extra drinks and stuff in there. So that was dope.
Do you still stop at, like, different bars and everything?
Yes.
Wow. So how'd you make
Litty
it? Did
titty.
you make it the whole time with your wig on your head?
I did. I'm somebody that, like, if I wear certain shoes, like, out or like to a wedding, I'm married to them for the night. My wig, similarly, married to it for the night because I had a wig cap on. I had my hair was all like up underneath it. Like I wasn't just like taking it off.
Here, let me
No,
just
no.
say this though. It was definitely I thought it was a good look on you. It was cool to see you with like longer hair, different colors, some curls in there. So give me a little preview of what may be to come when this hair gets to, full length of what you're going for. But
I don't know if I know it made me think maybe I will let it get to like collarbone length, but I don't know. I don't know.
What was
That
what was
seems
the
like a lot of work for me.
compliments? What were the guys like, or girls? I don't know. What were they saying about the hair? Was it
Everybody said that it like was such a vibe on me. They're like, you should definitely dye your hair or cut it and stuff. Because I used to have bangs for like most of my life, so it was pretty normal for me to have bangs. It looked well. It like people. Mackenzie was joking that like me and my friend Tech, she's like, you guys look like this is like a look for you. Like this looks like this is like how you guys would dress.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, that's what's up. You do anything else that's cool?
Yeah, it was my friend and dance instructor Michaela's birthday, and so we rented a boat and went out on Lake Lanier. Definitely did some people watching. We like parked it over at Margaritaville, did some people watching. Definitely saw some sugar babies with a sugar daddy, which was fun to watch. And then because we're all vixens that were on the boat, like we all do the same dance class, we played some of our songs and put on a show for everybody else docked up by us because we did like 5 of our dances in a row. So that was my weekend.
Were people getting
What
hype
about
around you? Were people getting hype at your dances?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
for
wow.
sure.
Yeah, I be seeing some of those videos you post sometimes. Y'all be going hard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, me, I had a wedding this past weekend.
You did?
Yeah, it was up in Canton, which is about like an hour north of here. I had just gotten back from my trip from Orlando, so legit just like straight from Orlando up to there, and got right to the hotel and the festivities. And I didn't realize, last week was like this whole like gas shortage thing that was happening.
Yep.
You know me, I
Yep.
don't really watch the news too much, even though I work.
It's so funny because you work for a company that literally, that's whatever. But
Once I clock out, I clock out, So, but anyways, I get up there. And I'm on this new thing where I travel. Like I used to just like get gas before I leave and before I take off type stuff. But now I'll like go about halfway and fill up like halfway down to my trip to Orlando, so I have some gas, like so I don't have to go right to the gas station.
Oh, so you're not like on fumes, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I use that gas to get up to the wedding, and I get up there, and there is no gas stations with gas. Like for the first day I was like there, I was like, I live here now. So I was like, I was really nervous because I was just like, it was like 4 miles until 0. The next morning I woke up at like 8 a.m. And me and my friend Adam, like he went to go look for gas and I went with him. And the first place, it was kind of confusing because they have like signs and bags all over, like, the pumps.
Yep.
And luckily
because like some like types of gas were there, some weren't. Like at some pumps it'd be like, we only have regular. Some they'd be like, we only have premium. Like
it's
or
very,
whatever.
very confusing. But luckily we looked a little closer and we had some 87 there for us. So I got home. But the wedding was amazing. It was beautiful. One of the best weddings like I've been to, just all around, a lot of love there, and I had a great time. And also I was able to get out on some water this weekend. Our friend Zach had a little pool day that I went and got a little bit of sun on the way back from that. So that was cool. And another cool thing is that I actually over the last weekend I was talking about, or the last pod I think I was talking about auditioning back home, and I actually landed a role in this like rom-com like short movie. So I'm gonna be playing this. The role is called True Love Number 3. And essentially there's just about this guy that like every time he like gets really close with a girl, like her ex comes back and takes her away. It happens like a couple times. So I'm the one that actually shows up at the wedding to stop a wedding from happening and stuff. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. I'll be doing that next week, a whole day of shooting, so I'm pretty excited about it. This acting thing is really starting to take off,
I was about to say, wow.
Yeah, but speaking of things that you're gonna have to watch me in, V, what are you watching?
I'm boring because I'm just in this mode right now of watching, like, I have my
I don't want to hear,
rotations
V. I don't want to hear you're boring.
I don't watch a lot of new stuff because, like, I'm in my rotations.
We
of
have
my
a
shows.
podcast to do here. You could just try to watch something new for the show.
Do you know how much audio content I listen to? So much.
Okay.
My brain
Well, then
can't
why don't we
sit down
switch it
to
to what are you
watch
listening to this week?
Huh?
What are you listening to this week?
I mean, this week I was listening to It's by Jackie Schimmel, who does the Bitch Bible podcast. She also now does Mind, Body, No Soul, and they're like kind of like parody meditation podcast.
That sounds
And they're
hilarious.
hilarious because like one of them's literally like called "Get Off Your Ass," and it's about like like getting active, and it's like because she has like it's just funny. It's very like ironic, and it's a kind of humor that I like, and I feel like a lot of people get offended by, but I love it.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to that a lot, and it's strangely relaxing to like because she uses like a little meditation voice the entire time, but she's like saying like stuff being like stop being like a lazy piece of shit, whatever. Like it's hilarious.
That's awesome.
So, I'm just in my rotation of like I'm finally watching all of Good Girls. I'm got Real Housewives of New York. I've got Nancy Drew on the CW. Riverdale should be coming back soon. I have, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I started to watch Vintage Summer House, like the first couple of seasons. So I saw how the first episode, the pilot episode, as you were talking about before, had like Stassi and them from Vanderpump Rules, how they like came and visited this group, and then the rest of this, the rest of the show is just the Summer House people. But yeah.
Well, that's what's up. Well, since we got into like kind of what we're listening to, I mean, I'll give a little update on what I've been listening to. My favorite podcast is pretty much like the only podcast I listen to. Sometimes I'll listen to Joe Rogan and here and there, but I listen to Joe Budden podcast, and it's also co-hosted by two other people named Rory and Mal. And lately they've been having a lot of drama on that podcast where those two hosts like have left. And
I was about to say, I'm like, what's going on with that?
There's just a lot, like, I don't know, being that we are podcasters and stuff,
Indeed, we are.
Very early on, I feel like we bumped heads a little bit more than we do now. It doesn't hurt that there's not like much money involved here. We just do this out of the love of our, off this, whatever. But yeah, when this stuff does start taking like, popularity and start like, generating a lot of money, that's kind of where like people like start changing a little bit. And whether it's Joe changing, I was under the impression, they're all like the host of this podcast, but it is called the Joe Budden podcast, and he's under the impression that this is his show.
It's his show.
Yeah. So what he says goes. But these guys were underneath like a contract where they, pretty much are earning, from what they earn, like a percentage of what the podcast brings in. So I think they were asking about like accounting, and Joe was like getting all offended and stuff about it, and being like, you guys get paid like so much, like why are you like worried about this stuff? And it just turned into like a big miscommunication where a lot of things were said on air, people were fired on air, to the point now where Rory and Mal are going to like make their own podcast together, which I was but I don't know, like, like there was a period where Rory and Mal wasn't on the podcast for like about a month or so, and he got his two other friends to come and replace it, and the show kind of just went on. It does suck. It kind of affects like, how you look at Joe. Plus there's other things he's kind of going through right now that I don't really agree with. But in general, as far as the show goes, I'm kind of in. Yeah, I don't know. I might be in search for a new podcast. That might be the Rory and Mal one I go to because, like, I don't know how this all kind of shakes out. It's not looking good for my favorite pod, but besides this one, we still going strong, luckily.
Hey.
But what I've been watching, what I've been watching is Woman in the Window. It was a movie that was on Netflix. It was. I think it was on Netflix, but it was pretty good. I thought it was like a psychological thriller. It's this woman that just like, had gone through some trauma, and she just like watches everybody out her window, and she doesn't know she's going crazy, what she's seeing, and people are trying to make her feel crazy. Was she seeing the truth? What's going on? But it was pretty good. I liked it. So check it out if you are looking for a good movie. Another movie I tried to actually get into. That's what happens when you watch two movies in a row. You end up falling asleep like during the second one. But I think it was called Oxygen, and it was on Netflix as well. So check that out too. It looked really promising. Probably will watch that after the pod today. But yeah,
I think I might watch Halston, which is on Netflix. It's like a fashion-ish sort of drama situation. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. So if I watch that, you'll be able to hear about it.
Yeah. Another thing that I thought was pretty interesting that I probably will be watching. When I was growing up, I used to watch the original Bring It On with like Kirsten Dunst and stuff like all the time. Like I used to fall asleep to it for whatever reason. You know when you just had like a VHS, you just like pop that in. Now you could just turn on Netflix or a YouTube video. But that's what I had. I had Bring It On, and my sister was probably
This
be
tells
pissed.
a lot about you. That your comfort movie was Bring It On. I don't know.
It was in Greece, but yep. So essentially, they've made many sequels to the Bring It On. Most of them not so good, but they have made them. It sounds like Sci-Fi Channel is now picking up Bring It On to continue like the franchise with a slasher version of the movie. So yeah, it's gonna be like a horror movie now. Bring It On. Think about it. Why, you have nothing to say about it? What do you think?
That's just so fucking typical, like a slasher, like a cheerleader situation. Like, come on.
They're not gonna I think it's the perfect channel to do one of those. They're the ones that do Sharknado, and they've that was pretty poppin' for a little while. So I could see them making I think that'd be cool if they always did that though. That if that started being their thing, where they take old like campy movies and like make them into like, and it's in the world of Bring It On, so it's not like supposed to be silly like Scary Movie or something, but maybe it's supposed to be lighthearted. But I think it'd be cool. Like imagine if like they took like Full House or something like that, or like and made that like a slasher movie.
No, absolutely not.
It'd be Full House of Blood.
No, stop.
Full House of Bodies.
No.
No? Okay. V. What do we got for quick hits?
Oh my god. So, Ellen DeGeneres is ending her show with its 19th season, so it will end in 2022. Supposedly, this has been, an idea that's been in the works for years. And, like, she came out saying that it was because, like, it's not challenging anymore as much as it's fun. Like, it's not really challenging to her career anymore. She's getting up there, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I think we all really know that, like, shit was hitting a boiling point. And I'm sure the ratings are down, and there's just no way for, her to really come back from all the drama that was surrounding it.
It's so crazy to see, like, the people getting canceled this year. Like, what I'm saying? There's so many women getting canceled. Like, I don't understand. Like, specifically with her, you understand why she's getting canceled. She treated people like on her set apparently like shit, and her big tagline at the end of these shows would be like, "Be kind," and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I just remember, I could just imagine every time like the show wrapped, like everyone just rolled their eyes. But they had said like apparently Ellen wanted to end this show. But they said that they needed her through the election to like help people and stuff, get through the election. That's something I was like hearing. I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I honestly have never watched one full episode of the Ellen Show. Nowadays with social media, you see like clips online. You
see
and stuff,
the clips. It used to be the thing that would be like you were only like 3 clicks away on YouTube from an Ellen Show clip. Like that was the thing.
That and or Jimmy Fallon.
She created her own app, EllenTube. Like,
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be discontinued as well. But I mean, we're cool with getting Ellen out of here, so whatever. Who do you think is going to be the next Ellen? They're saying Kelly Clarkson.
I mean, Kelly Clarkson has been pretty successful with like her show. I don't know. I know Drew Barrymore had her show. I don't think that's as popping off, but people love Kelly Clarkson's show. I don't know if she's gonna like fill that spot or that space or whatever.
Someone has to. Like, there's always that person. Like, I remember there'd be like Oprah or like Rosie O'Donnell was that for a little while.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. What else we got?
So, there has been a confirmed premiere date for the Friends reunion on HBO Max. It'll be May 27th. And this is not like a new episode. It's going to be purely like a reunion show. They're going to come back, discuss stuff, go over like old clips, whatever. I don't really know all of the exact details, but they're bringing back, Maggie Wheeler, who played Janice. They're bringing back Reese Witherspoon, who played Jill at one point. They're bringing back a lot of series regulars, as well as they're going to have some celebrity guests that I don't know if they're just weighing in, if they're being musical guests, because we've got people like Lady Gaga and BTS.
I think Justin Bieber's in there. Yeah. I'm a little upset
as well as like Mindy Kaling and like Malala and James Corden. It just seems like a weird mix of folks.
I think they should have gotten Charlie Puth in there.
I was listening to some vintage Charlie Puth earlier.
I mean, he's like a super fan. Like I've seen him like do trivia with Courtney Cox and like get the most random like Friends trivia. They should get him in there. And also I'm hearing there's some rumblings of they're not bringing back Paul Rudd. You're gonna bring all these people back and you're not gonna have Paul Rudd?
And Paul Rudd is a national treasure. I love Paul Rudd so much.
Yeah.
Like so much.
I just watched Knocked Up last night and he was so funny in it. Like he's just so funny. Like, oh man. But also interesting to see at the reunion, the Friends didn't actually ever make friends with like anybody else outside of their race. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? That's another thing I was reading about. They're like, Friends hasn't made
why they gotta be white though?
But interesting stuff. What else we got?
So Migos have revealed that they're coming out with their new album, Culture 3, in June 11th. So, that's the follow-up. They've been doing a series back in 2017, Culture, 2018, Culture 2. So, took a couple years off to do their own individual single albums and stuff like that.
No one popped. They just got more famous for people they dated. That's pretty much it. I don't know. How do you feel about like albums being always the same name, number 3? Like, you might as well just name the album Migos 1, Migos 2, Migos 3. Like, because I don't know. I've never really liked the Culture series. I don't like when I want something new. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want something new. Come up with something creative. This is so like 4 years ago. I don't know. Do you dig it?
I mean, I guess I can see what you're saying. Like, yeah, it's like not super creative.
Yeah, if Drake kept doing that, like I don't think he'd be as successful as he is right now. Like, I mean, he does have like series and things that he keeps up with, but I don't know. I think they're classics because they're one-offs.
But think about like Lil Wayne did that kind of shit. So
yeah, but I don't know. That was Lil Wayne, and also like I just said, he was actually naming it like himself. Like it's like Lil Wayne, the Carter. Like he's naming it. I get why he wanted people to know his actual name.
It's like Too Fast, Too Furious.
I guess.
Fast 8. Furious, whatever.
I mean, it makes sense in movie form, but in music form, I don't know. We'll see. I bet you it's gonna be hard as hell. But what else we got?
We have. So this was what we previewed earlier. John Mulaney, we talked about last week that him and his wife are separating. She seemed like it was not her idea. And now, supposedly, he's dating Olivia Munn. Olivia Munn.
That's my number one celebrity crush. You know that, right? Like, remember when I ask about it, everyone always like knows like that one.
It's because you literally did that to me once. You're like, who's my favorite? Like, you're like, who's like my celebrity crush? Because like you forgot, and like I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Olivia Munn, and you're like, you're right.
I was like, no, I know that one. Is there another one? I think, but yeah, I mean, Olivia Munn is just like drop dead beautiful to me. and John Mulaney, I don't understand. Like, she must have some crazy crush on John Mulaney, because I don't find him like attractive in that sense. I don't know. Maybe you do. I know.
No, I mean, there's some pictures he did. One of JQ's spread of his was really, really good. But I mean, I guess like she had met him and his then fiance, now, you know, soon to be ex-wife, back at like a wedding or something in 2015, and like she had been in interviews like gushing over like how great she thought he was and like all this stuff. So I mean, I question Olivia Munn's taste. I'm gonna be honest, she dated Aaron Rodgers for a while, and we know how I feel about him. But yeah, I don't know. I guess they met at church in Los Angeles, which I find interesting because like most of John Mulaney's humor is like based on the fact that he's like kind of like, you know, a disgraced Catholic. Like he was like, so it's just kind of strange to me.
Well, I mean, I'd go to church too if Olivia Munn was going there. And I pray every Sunday.
Once said, take me to church.
Yeah,
you know?
like, I mean, I would divorce my wife too. Like, you know what I'm saying? All these things make sense. Like, you know, I would think I was on drugs if Olivia Munn said like I was the greatest person ever. I don't know. These are all things I can't really hate John Mulaney for right now because I'm just jealous and I would be hating. So, I don't know. We'll have to see, you know. Oh, man, that sucks for John Mulaney's ex-wife. I always think about that.
That's rough. That's rough. Like, I guess, like, if I were in her position, I'd be like, woof. Like, you didn't want to you didn't want to end the marriage. And then you see him, like, being with, like, Olivia Munn. And you're like, how can I even argue with that? Like,
I would have held the Olivia Munn thing at least until the divorce was finalized, because now she's getting half of everything. I don't even know if, like,
it's filed yet. That's the thing.
She's getting everything.
Yeah.
So good for everyone involved. Sounds like everyone's happy. What else we got?
Ariana Grande and her now husband, Dalton Gomez, got married over this weekend. It was a very intimate ceremony. Only like 20-ish people in their backyard. So there's been like no pictures or anything really, which is depressing to me because I feel like I want to see what Ariana Grande wore for her wedding. Like, I've seen her dresses and stuff for award shows. I'm just thinking like she would pull out like a very beautiful, I mean, who wouldn't want to dress her? Like, that's my thing. But, you know, I guess they've always kept like, except for like when they got engaged or whatever, like the details of the relationship and them being like out and about was pretty low key. Part of that is because it was COVID, but also part of it is just because that's how they've been. But yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do like another big like a Hollywood wedding, or if that's all they're gonna do.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, do you think she's happy? Obviously,
I mean, so that's what everyone in her circle that has been, you know, asked about it says that she is, and that, you know, both sets of parents are very excited about it. Everyone's all Gucci.
I wonder if this is like a new rollout, like, you know what I'm saying, like the Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber thing, you know, where you're like, now I'm in love and we can move on from like the old drama stuff that we, you know, would worry about. Not saying that's the only reason why they're getting married, but like I do feel like it's like not a rollout, but kind of like a re-imaging or something of your...
Yeah, like almost like a rebranding.
Yeah, a rebrand, exactly.
Because, I mean, that's fully, like, think about how her album positions and stuff had very much more the, like, I'm very happy and in love kinds of songs, similar to, like, how Justin Bieber's new music is a lot of all, like, I'm happy and in love and whatever, blah, 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 like, she's my everything, that kind of thing. So I feel like similar, there's parallels there.
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder if, you know, possibly someone got to her where she's like, you know, your dating life has now kind of gotten a little bigger than the music, you know?
I mean, that's what people used to do with Taylor Swift, too.
Right. And you settle down, and then you're like, all right, well, that's just my husband now. Let's get back to the music. So, well, good for them. I hope they're very happy for a couple of years to come. So, what else we got?
So another very quick seemingly marriage that happened with is This Is Us star Justin Hartley, also ex-husband of Chrishell from Selling Sunset, very recently divorced, is already married to Sophie Pernas, who was in Jane the Virgin and a couple other things. But I'm interested to see what, I don't know if there's going to be any trickle down into the Chrishell drama for when Selling Sunset, the newest season, comes out, or what that's going to look like. 'Cause this seems intense.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get the tea with the new season. That's just kind of what those shows are built off of, you know? Yeah. What else we got? Anything else for quick hits?
One last little thing was that Scarlett Johansson got the Generation Award for MTV's Movie and TV Awards. And then, her husband, Colin Jost, slimed her because she did a pre-recorded acceptance. And he pretended he was like, oh, I thought it was Nickelodeon. But I guess other people who have gotten this award have been Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Reese Witherspoon, Jamie Foxx, Adam Sandler, Will Smith, Sandra Bullock, Tom Cruise, Chris Pratt, and Robert Downey Jr. So interesting, she's of that ilk now. She's been, known for being in the pop culture space and acting and everything. And the newest, Black Widow will be coming out this year. So
yeah, no, Scarlett Johansson, OG in the game. I mean, as far back as I can remember, she was in a movie. What movie was she in? She was played the sister in Home Alone 3.
Yeah.
That's how long ago, Home Alone 3 was when
she's
I was a kid.
She said something in her speech, I think, about how she's been in the industry for 30 years and she's 36. So that, I think, yeah, she's literally started as a kid and she's just been cranking.
So yeah, good for her. Definitely well deserved of an award like that. Hopefully, Black Widow has been just drawn out for so long. I really hope that movie does well. There's a lot of concern about these upcoming MCU movies just because we talked about it, I think, a couple episodes ago, but they're just moving into a new realm of superheroes where the most popular ones that we're all used to are not in the forefront anymore. Now we've gotten rid of Robert Downey Jr. We've gotten rid of Chris Evans and stuff for Iron Man and Captain America. So, there's a little concern of how long has the hype of MCU reached its peak? I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm still into it. I'm sure, future fans will come along and re-energize this. But yeah, I think the big team up movies, the things we're looking forward to the MCU is seeing the introduction of the X-Men or the introduction of the Fantastic Four because, pretty much people have hated all the Fantastic Fours that came before. So we'll just have to see. Scarlett Johansson, I hope she stays in the MCU because she's badass in it. Yeah, well, V, what made you go yikes this week? Something that was just yikes.
Yikes. So there is a criminal investigation on T.I. and Tiny for a couple of allegations of drugging and sexual assault by some different women. One is going anonymous, which always makes these kind of investigations hard, who claimed that she was drugged and assaulted by the couple in 2005. And then a different person, her name is Rochelle Jenks, filed a police report with the Las Vegas Police Department saying that she was also drugged and sexually assaulted by the couple in 2010. So there's a lot of different things, and I guess there's multiple. The attorney who's representing the alleged victims thus far said that there's more women that are willing to speak on the record, and that this has been a pattern. So interested to see how that's going to continue to pan out, if there is more women, or if this is, if this is accurate, or what's going on. But
I have no idea what's going on, but I do think this is just one of the celebrities that do that get so famous that sex becomes kind of I don't know what to say, procedural, where you invite a bunch of girls over, especially when you have a wife like Tiny who's open to, I guess, having a girl come into the situation or something. And You know, I don't know. The times have changed. Like, I have no idea what these investigations are or any of the cases, but like, it's like you could have been doing drugs with like at a sex party, and now like years later, these girls are gonna come out and say, you know, that they were drugged and
Well,
and
what
assaulted.
their accounts have been thus far is that they were like at the clubs or whatever with Ti and Tiny, and then were offered some sort of liquid by Ti, and they thought it was tequila, and then they don't remember much of anything else except for like, you know, making it back to a room and being.
See,
Yeah.
I just really wonder how they investigate these type of things. Like where's the proof in a 2005 incident? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know how they could even really look into that. Maybe talk to some people who are there, but like, I always think about like how much time passes. Like, if someone were to ask me where I was in 2005 on this day, especially if I had been drinking or like at the club or something, like, I don't know if I would be able to remember details that would be important or significant enough in an investigation to be able to even talk about this. So I wonder how those things, the litigation of all that goes.
Yeah, that's
know.
hard. That's why, like, for something like this, I feel like it's based on like building up a case of like multiple incidents and making more of it.
I think
like,
there's,
this is
I think there's definitely a stack of incidences that they could pull from, especially as more and more girls come out. Another girl might have a story that's similar, and you know, do that, because this is not new. This is really messing with Ti's like career right now. I mean, it's, I guess, innocent until proven guilty, but like, you know, he had like a podcast that just came out, movie roles, you know, kind of becoming like a voice of an OG in hip hop and stuff, and that's all just kind of being taken away right now because of all this allegations. So we'll have to see what comes of that. It's kind of crazy to see Tiny all like, you know, caught up in it as well.
Yeah.
Just kind of outside of the norm of regular people's lives to be, you know, hearing about these things. But V, what do we got for like a little mini main topic?
Well, you know what? It's it's mid-May. It's mid-May, and summer is upon us.
Yes.
And the phrasing that's been bopping around is hot girl summer, or shot girl summer because vaccines. But it's taken on quite a life of its own, to the point that I feel like the message has gotten lost. And then there's also, in that same vein, Chet Hanks came out saying, I think we talked about it weeks ago, he like made a video talking about like white boy summer, which there's been a lot of jokes on the internet about what that means, and that just seems like more of like a trashy like version. Like, I don't even know if I could get into what white boy summer is supposed to be.
It's white boy
But-
summer. Like, when I say that and think of it, it reminds me of like Malibu's Most Wanted or something.
Yeah, it just feels very Florida to me. Like, it just, like, when I think of white boy summer, I'm thinking of some dudes wearing some bad Oakleys and like having some bad tattoos and thinking they're spitting game.
maybe
when the-
wearing a visor.
yes,
backwards,
maybe wearing a visor
upside
backwards,
down.
upside down.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to rock the shit out of one of those
Of
back
course
in
you
middle
did.
school, but wasn't calling it white boy summer. Well, yeah, I mean, hot girl summer. It's definitely one of those phrases that came out in over the last year or two that you know, who established that? Meg Thee Stallion?
I mean, it originated with Meg Thee Stallion like a summer or so ago, and like how she originated it was like, you know what, it's gonna be a hot girl summer. Like, we're getting our bodies right, we're getting our mind right, like we're gonna be out here, like, because her whole thing is like, she, you know, is hot girl Meg, and her followers and stuff are hotties, and so it's just all about like living your best hot girl life, which I feel like people, particularly men, think that means that like women are out here just hoeing themselves out, which isn't necessarily true.
I mean, you had brought up a TikTok. What was that about?
So there was this TikTok of this one. He's kind of like known for being like a basic ass thirst trapper dude on TikTok. I think his name was like Trey or something. Yeah. He would probably be more on the ilk of like White Boy Summer. And he like in a very like Valley Girl-ish drawl is all like, come on, man. Like, who are you fooling? Like, Hot Girl Summer doesn't exist. Like, if you're a hoe, just say it. Like, no judgment. And then it was duetted by Doja Cat, just like making fun of him talking because he sounds ridiculous. And then it was also duetted by Lizzo, mimicking him on her flute, which I thought was incredible. But it brought up the discussion that I was just sort of saying of like how being like Hot Girl Summer isn't about just like banging anybody that you see. Like it's not what we're out here doing, first of all. It's more about like what I consider Hot Girl Summer to be is like just truly like living your best life, like in, enjoying your time with your friends, like not being self-conscious, being confident in like what you're doing, who you are. And I think, of course, people are out here just being like, oh, so you're just trying to be a hoe. And I'm like, maybe I am, but that's not it.
All right, but I feel you. And that was a really cute definition of Hot Girl Summer you just gave. But I do have to admit, when I hear majority of girls saying Hot Girl Summer, I instantly have to roll my eyes as a guy, I guess. But it's just like, it kind of sounds like you just want to go out there and just be a hoe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's coming sometimes for the energy behind it sometimes. Like, I see what you're saying, and yes, I could see a woman going out and being like, living their best life. But for some reason, it's like, Hot Girl Summer, gotta get my ass in this like bikini thong and pop it and twerk it and get lit. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of...
You could do that and not be like, but that doesn't mean that you're expecting anybody to fuck you. That doesn't like, I don't put on cute little bathing suits for anybody else's, like, I do it for me.
Okay.
And we've talked about that before. Like, yeah, I know I look good. Thank you for telling me I do. Like, I think the mantra behind it is that, like, people, especially during the dark days of the pandemic, people were feeling lonely. People were feeling like maybe they were thinking about exes. Maybe they broke up with people. Maybe whatever. It's more of like, this is like the summer you're like ditching ties and you're just like doing you, and you aren't like getting, which like even Meg Thee Stallion has a boyfriend and she's like, I can still have a hot girl summer.
She's not going to have a hot girl summer. Not like
she's
she was having. She's
a hot girl. She's hottie.
I'm just saying though, like Hot Girl Summer is different this year to Meg than it was in previous years. I'll tell you what. I just feel like she's deeper in her relationship. I haven't seen as much like twerking content from her as like I had seen in the past. Maybe it's like just kind of going like dark for a little bit.
She's got new stuff coming, I'm pretty sure. So I think she's been just trying to tease that slowly.
Yeah.
But
no pun intended. I mean, I think maybe the kickback of it is that like the definition of what you said a hot girl summer should be something that, I mean, if it's as like general as that, like anybody should be having a hot girl summer, right? And I think
agree.
if you're getting kickback from guys, it's like, and you're actually coming at it from the angle that you're saying, it'd be like, all right, well, then it's a hot boy summer too. So can hot boy summer?
Yeah, it is a hot boy summer.
I don't know though. It doesn't really roll off the tongue as well for me. Like,
yeah, it's not my problem.
I don't feel like it really like describes what I'm out here doing this summer. Because honestly, when I say a hot boy summer, maybe it comes if like when I say it, even like if I were to be like I'm about to have a hot boy summer, like what does that feel like and sound like? I don't know. If it sounds like I'm about to get lit all summer and holler at girls, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you said that, not me. So I don't know, but I think you're putting whatever energy you want behind that hot boy summer. I think that's also, what it's about is what energy are you bringing to the table?
Well, I mean, how many summers are going to be hot girl summers?
I mean, I guess as many as you. I feel like
And what
feel like, I don't
happens
know.
when like someone that you don't like is out here claiming Hot Girl Summer and making it look bad? Are you still gonna claim Hot Girl Summer?
That would be, why would I like, there's so many people in this world. Why would I be worried about like one person I don't like saying like, I'm having a hot girl summer? I can't.
They just make
they're
they
not
make
on
Hot
my
Girl Summer sound
path.
bad. Like
They're
I
on
mean,
their own hot girl summer path.
sure,
I'm
sure.
on my own hot
But you
girl summer
might
path.
be like maybe your association with Hot Girl Summer and this person's Hot Girl Summer, it can be like, convoluted in the general public. I don't know. I'm just asking, like, how many summers are gonna be Hot Girl Summers? It's a good question. I feel like.
I feel like you can. I feel like.
Are you gonna be having
I don't-
Hot Girl Summers when you're a mom of two?
I feel like that. I was about to say, Mike. I feel like that's when it gets a little iffy.
Is Claudia
It gets
having a Hot
little-
Girl Summer? Because I feel like she's ready for one. Like,
I think it gets a little iffy. It kind of depends on like how old are the kids, where are we at. Like, I feel like if your kids have like fled the nest, you can have a hot girl summer again. It's
you
ready
stop
to-
having a Hot Girl Summer when your kid is having a Hot Girl Summer, right? You just pass it off.
mean-
It's like
It's a passing of the baton.
Yeah.
Passing of the hot girl baton.
so stupid. Oh my god. Well, I'm not against hot girls or summer, so you guys can do whatever you want. That's amazing. But yeah, I mean, definitely this I think is going to be an interesting summer, to say the least. I just really wonder. I feel like people are already out here, like you say, they're vaxxed and waxed, and ready for that sun. If anything, this past weekend, just being by the pool was just really nice.
Yeah.
Did feel a little weird
Being out
though.
on the boat, everything like that. I was like, damn, we ready.
You
We
ready?
for this.
Like, you always go out on the boat though, and you've never been stopped. You were out there
What?
you were out on the boat last summer too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was on the boat last summer.
You're a boat person. I remember now.
I'm a boat hoe. I know that.
So you admit
know
it.
that.
You're hoeing on these boats.
I'm not hoeing with anybody on these boats. I was more observing other women who get paid to be on some of these boats, and I was like, I wonder how much money you make.
You talking about the sugar babies?
Yeah,
Okay.
we had to ask them for a wine bottle opener. They were kind.
Oh. Was it one of those cool wine bottle openers that you don't even have to? You just like push the button. It's like.
I wish it was like, but it was more of like it was the twisty kind that had the arms. It looks like a little person almost. Like,
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get good at those. I'll always just ruin my cork. I also just realized you have to peel the stuff. I'm not a wine drinker, so it's like you got to peel it and cut it before you actually start dropping the.
sorry, you're embarrassing yourself. So.
I know. Do that often. B. Well, that's what's up. I think I'm gonna have a little hot boy summer.
Hell yeah.
I just wonder if there'll ever be another term for exactly what you feel hot girl summer is. Will we ever have another term for it? What could we make up one right now? If you were like Meg the Stallion and you were gonna make a little summer theme thing, what would you call it?
I don't know, because she's the hot girl. She started that. I don't know what I could call it at this point.
What about sexy summer? We're gonna have a sexy summer.
Sexy summer, is that just spelled with an A at the end? No ER.
Hey, at least I'm
Sexy.
trying here. I'm creating content. You're just I don't know.
Okay, you asked me on the spot.
I'm making them up on the
Megan
spot.
Thee
You think
Stallion
sexy
to a
summer is the
point.
best thing I could think of, on the fly? Yeah, that's all I got. Whatever. At least I'm trying. Yeah, I mean, hot boy summer. I'm ready for it. Let's go. I don't even know how Chet Hanks keeps getting brought up on this podcast, to be honest.
I had to bring him up. He was relevant for this.
Okay. Well, V, anything going on in Bachelor news?
Yeah, so it looks like they dropped the men for Katie's season. I'm gonna be honest, none are really barely any. None are really sticking
Didn't
out
we
to me.
say this when they dropped? Or was it,
This is more legitimate list. They were doing more hints and pieces. This is the more legitimate list, but there's also one that is a box and it just had question marks. And I don't know if that's a play on the vibrator, or if it's like a mystery person that they're bringing in like last minute, or what that's supposed to look like. So
Probably an old cast member. It's like something they do now.
I don't know. I don't know. Most of these guys, some of them look real douche canoey. So I'm just kind of, I'm worried.
Do you think they're going to do the whole, like, bring in more guys halfway through thing?
I don't know. I kind of hope they don't. But
you see anybody that you like so far in the guys?
they all look the same.
Yeah. I saw a couple
And
and
they're
I was
all
like, ugh. Like,
one of them's like a zipper sales manager. You know, they're like,
I don't know though. She
genius entrepreneurs.
What I do like about her as the Bachelorette, as opposed to other Bachelorettes of the past, I feel like she's unique in the sense that she's not like really just trying to find the hottest guy like every other girl.
No, she's not. She's not looking for. I don't think she's looking for a hottie. I think she's looking for, you know, like an actual.
This
connection.
might be
She's
my season where I can actually like, you know, like believe that some of these guys have a chance, not just the hottie. You know, I feel like she's the one.
I agree. I agree with that for sure. Oh God, there's a lot of bad tattoos on some of these dudes, but I don't know. Some of them look really eager. John, a bartender. Ooh, he's wearing a turtleneck. Josh, IT consultant. Everybody's in IT or an entrepreneur these days.
I mean, it's a good job to work
basketball
from
player.
home, you know.
Yeah.
Any other news coming out of Bachelor Nation?
Matt James and Rachel were seen getting cozy on the beaches of Miami. So obviously that must be his fucking move, is bringing the girls to Miami. Like, what is, like, come on, dude. You think, like, I don't know, you're like, after you got caught with like inviting a different girl down, you're like, to make it up to you, Rach, I'll bring you to Miami. Like, I don't.
Sure though, but like I just feel like it's just the nicest thing to be like able to probably go to free hotels and just chill on beaches and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
That would be the only thing that would be cool about being on The Bachelor now. But anything else? I saw that what's her name got engaged or something like that. One of the girls from these past seasons and stuff. I forgot her name. I never know. I almost forget too. Like when I see them, I'm like, what? Oh yeah, that girl. Isn't it crazy how we forget about like people like only a couple seasons later, or maybe I do, but
you do more than I do.
Yeah,
but I don't know who you're talking about.
She was what's her name? She just got engaged. She was one of the girls that was fighting over. It wasn't Matt James. It was who was before Matt James.
Pilot Pete.
Yeah, I think it was Pilot Pete. But yeah, I this is terrible like content right now because I brought it up thinking you would know, but yeah, it's somebody got engaged on that. Someone's always getting engaged. She got engaged to a football player, like an NFL player. So check that out. Let us know if you guys know who that is.
Haley,
No.
Sarah, Heron. There's so many. I'm guessing. No, that was Haley Ferguson. Both of the Ferguson twins. They were the twins.
They got married?
They're engaged.
Oh my god. To the same person?
No.
Okay.
Different people.
Just making sure. No, it was Sydney.
Oh, Sydney.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that she got engaged.
Mm-hmm. She's engaged.
She has a podcast.
She's going to be engaged to... Look, I'm just checking this all out right now. Fred Warner.
Fred Warner.
Yeah. Of NFL fame. So, there we go. Live.
Oh, it's that Sydney.
Live.
I thought it was a different Sydney.
Live Googling right there. All right,
It was the racist one. That's cool. Good for her.
Was she racist? I thought she was like actually some type of race or something, but
yeah, but she made some. Maybe I don't know.
Well, why don't we
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
talk about our slapper? This week's slapper brought to you by Olivia Rodrigo.
Dude, she's 3 for 3. I
Yeah.
love every single one of her songs she's come out with.
I mean, I won't say I love like the driver's license song, but I do know that was huge. Over the weekend, she performed on Saturday Night Live with Keegan-Michael Key, which I thought it would be a funnier episode. Saturday Night Live really needs to step up their game, man. What the hell?
Yeah, I feel like I've tried to keep up with some of the recent episodes, and I just like they don't slap.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a good episode. But she ends up performing this new song called Good For You, which instantly when I heard it, I'm like, this is Paramore. This is, what's that song? I forgot what it's called. But
Misery Business.
yeah, that's what it sounds like. And, but I can't deny that like the beat is really good. It has a really cool bass line. And I like how playful she's being in the way she sings this song. Like, she like laughs and stuff. Like it sounds like genuine like reactions while she's actually singing this song. Do you know more about this song?
Yeah, the music video, I guess, plays on a lot of like the scenes and stuff from Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
Known underrated, campy horror flick with
It's actually pretty good. I tried to watch it the other night.
It's a great movie, but
yeah.
it was, I got to blame how it was marketed. Not Diablo Cody's fault, but
got Megan Fox in there, which is pretty incredible.
Which is great. So that's interesting. Yeah, but that's Olivia Rodrigo's popping off right now. She is becoming kind of like the queen of a breakup. She's hit like all different elements of breakup songs. Driver's License was more of like the sad, slow, like ballady breakup song. Deja Vu was a little bit more like had a little bit more bite, and then this is like the angsty like fuck you, I'm over you kind of
right.
phase.
I mean, this
it's like
is
she's going through the phases of a breakup.
This
and
is
I
a
love it for
space
her.
that there was a space needed for this. Like, right now I feel like the majority of like the female music I've been hearing is a lot of like female rap, which is good. But like as far as like Ariana Grande, like that type of pop star, like she's kind of bowed out a little bit and wasn't making music like this. I just really feel like, this is actually in the realm of, I feel like where Billie Eilish kind of stands too. That pop queen type thing. Who was she beefing with? What was the girl?
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Sabrina Carpenter because that girl is like so freaking talented too. Great voice, part of Girl Meets World.
I like some Sabrina Carpenter music too.
But I feel like, she had her chance. She didn't really blow like Olivia Rodrigo is going. And I don't know. We'll have to see. I think Olivia is kind of winning this beef right now. And she's probably going to get into acting and stuff.
And she definitely and she's only like 16 or 17, so she's got a lot of time to like keep popping off.
Right. I mean, I feel like someone who also came in and kind of took over was like a Dua Lipa, but she's a little older. Yeah. She kind of feels like the older crowd. Olivia Rodrigo was necessary. So I thought the song was really good. I really like it. Not that like I'm the biggest fan of her or anything like that, but I mean, I listened to it and I liked it a lot. So that was our slapper of the week. V, do you have any shout outs this week?
I do. I have some birthday shout outs. A belated birthday shout out to my swiddle, Kendall. And then I have a birthday shout out for my brother, Vince. It is his 26th birthday this Friday.
Shout out to them. My quick shout outs are really just, I wanted to shout out my boy Adam Parker. When I got to Canton and I started freaking out about the gas situation. I'm like, seriously, how am I supposed to get to these events? Like, I drove here so I could get back and forth and all that stuff. He was like the one that made me not worry. He was like, you can stick with me all weekend. I'll help you. I'll drive to the gas station and go check the gas before you have to go use your gas to get there. And he just was like giving me all these like options that I start freaking out about, It kind of reminds me of this movie I was watching called Stowaway, where they went to space and this guy like gets stuck in there and there's not enough air for 4 people, so someone has to leave. That's like the way I start panicking about like when I start getting down on gas and stuff. Gas is just super important. Thinking about getting this electric car soon. because I think that was the message here. But
Yeah, that would be the flex. That would be that'd be the move.
I saw a meme that was like, one of those like a royal king or something like that, looking down on like the common folk.
It's the royal people or whoever, I forget their name, from Twilight. That's what the meme is, of them being all like looking down, like Tesla owners at everybody freaking out over the gas shortage.
The last time I saw it was like air fryer owners, like that look like they look down on people that don't own them. It's so funny. But yeah, and so shout out to Adam. And then I wanted to shout out Zach for having us over at the pool. Always, and made some dope ass burgers and stuff. I think he was trying to feed me some Beyond Meat. That was the joke I kept saying. I'm like, did you feed me a fake burger, bro? Like, he was like, no, I didn't feed you, but it's good. Like, I don't know. I've had one of those at one of those Whoppers, Beyond Meats, Burger King before. Actually didn't want to. I had gotten at like Uber Eats to me. That's how hungry I was. And and I was like, I went to go sit down and eat my my Whopper, one of the best burgers ever. And it was a Beyond Meat one. And I was like, what is this? Like,
Beyond Meat tastes good, though.
I know. It's a mind over matter thing, though. Like, it's not like it tasted any different. It just, like, came in a weird, like, green packaging. And I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, am I eating fake cow? But, so, yeah, shout out to Zach.
Your shout outs, like, took us all over the board.
Hey, you do it most weeks, so let me have one.
Okay, all right.
V, what do you got going on this weekend? More boats and hoes or what?
No, $5 prom this weekend.
Oh yes, $5 prom. Unfortunately, I don't think I can make that because I have to go to a wedding this weekend again in Orlando.
You have another wedding this weekend?
Yeah, it's wedding season, baby.
I know.
Yeah, so it's just going to be crazy. I have to drive down to Orlando again, drive back, and then I got that shoot for that movie. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
You had another wedding down in Florida so soon.
I know. Can't catch a break.
I feel like you didn't realize that it was this soon either.
Yeah, I mean, no, I didn't. It's just, when you go from like months and months and months of not having anything to like every weekend there's like 2 things now. This is like, I thought I'd like
that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I just like, I feel like I don't want to miss this party, but I also can't miss this wedding. Like, I know.
I've been fully hermiting for most of this week because I had like 2 back-to-back birthday situations, whatever, last weekend, and I'm like, I just don't. Everyone's annoying me. I just don't want to talk to anybody for the week, and then I'll see you on Saturday.
That's why I didn't text you. I didn't want to annoy you.
Oh, okay.
No, honestly, I went to go text you today. I was like, we haven't texted each other since the last podcast. Like, I was like kind of a little sad about it. And that's how I know you're busy. It's like, I don't even get text messages from you.
Well, you were also busy.
I know I was busy, but that you always, like, you usually text me something. And you were so busy you didn't text me anything this week. Like, whether it's like an article or like just something happening or something like that. I just looked back on the text and it was just the promo from last week. I was like, oh, V had nothing to tell me in the last week. That's cool. Got a little sad about it.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. I'll forgive you this time, but just text me.
Okay.
Just text me. All right. Well,
your phone works. The phones work both ways, babe.
Yeah, but you're always doing something.
Huh?
You're always doing something.
It's okay. All right. As I said, phones work both ways.
Okay. Well, V, until I text you, this has been Future Bachelor. We love you guys. We'll see you next week, like we always do, most of the time. And you know what it is. We love you. We'll see you next week. My name is Sai. I'm messing this all up. Let's get out of here.
I'm Veronica.
All right, and deuces!